first of those being how it manages memory. Most or many AI agents, if you're not careful, depending on how you write them, they struggle with this kind of context entropy or memory drift or confusion, where the more and more you add into the memory of the agent as it operates, the more junk is in there, the more noisy it is, the less effective the agent becomes. And this is something that it seems like Claude Code is less prone to in many ways. And so revealed in the agent harness is there's kind of 3 levels or layers of the memory management within Claude. And I think this is interesting to talk about because it's practical for agent developers out there, for all of us, which is the first thing is they have this memory.md, which basically is, it's constantly fed to the agent, but it's not all the memory of the agent. Basically, it's only the pointers to where certain information is held. So it's kind of like an index or a pointer system to where information is. So you're not always loading in all information into the agent. You kind of have these pointers. So this is like an index to certain context information. Then there's sharded topical information. So rather than keeping everything together, again, there's this index, but then there's these shards of discrete files that have certain types of information in it. This prevents kind of, again, that noisy element of adding all memory into the agent, but only loading kind of topic-specific shards when those topic-specific shards are relevant. And then the last piece is this kind of self-healing search mechanism to where you have essentially kind of if you're familiar with Linux and grep, grep is a way for you to kind of search and scan logs. So the agent is actually configured such that it can verify actual information against the actual logs using a kind of optimized grep search rather than relying on its own generated summary. So it actually kind of self searches this, via this kind of almost like grep-like type of process. So it's this searching, it's the topic related shards and descriptive capability. It's this topical index or contextual index in the memory.md that is part of that memory hierarchy, which I do think a lot of people struggle with. It's kind of one of those points of disillusionment where I create an agent and I just keep loading it with more and more stuff, and then it gets worse over time, which is counterintuitive and also sad.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the learning, I mean, I think this is a big part of it, is aside from whether, what the future of Claude Code is going to be from a licensing standpoint, and being, having access to the code, I think these architectural concerns about things like memory management, and other, innovations in how they approach the various problems of agentic development, will rapidly become very standard libraries across many languages, where folks can start implementing that. So we're kind of seeing what is likely a turning point in mature agent development going forward. And so that's, and you'll see the other players reacting to that. It'll be interesting to see what kind of changes we see in the industry coming up in the weeks to follow.